Okay, so when you think of Lunar New Year, what comes to mind? Probably red envelopes, right? And those amazing family feasts. But what if I told you that for a lot of people, the real core of the celebration isn't just one meal? It's a 15-day commitment to something way, way deeper. Yeah, let's get into what this sacred tradition is all about.
So, look, a lot of families go vegetarian on day one of the new year, for a fresh, clean start. That totally makes sense. But for the entire 15 days of the festival, that's a whole other level. It sounds pretty extreme, but trust me, this tradition has some seriously deep roots. And the reasons behind it are pretty powerful. Let's explore them.
All right, so the first reason, it's honestly the most poetic one. It's all about this idea of creating a perfect cycle. And we're not just talking about food here, nope. It's about using those first 15 days to, symbolically shape your entire year. The goal is to get this absolutely flawless start that you can carry with you all the way to the end. And get this, the practice has this really beautiful formal name, Shu Quan Yuet. It translates to something like the full month practice. I mean, that name alone tells you everything, right? This isn't just some casual diet. It's a really conscious act of seeing a meaningful cycle through to completion. Okay, and this is where it gets really cool, almost cosmic. That 15-day period, it is not random, not at all. It actually maps perfectly onto the lunar cycle. You start on day 1 with the new moon, and you go all the way to day 15, which is the very first full moon of the new year. It's literally a journey from darkness to light. It's a physical thing you're doing that perfectly mirrors what's happening in the heavens, all to create that perfect start. And what does this all lead to? Well, it all comes together in this one super powerful wish. When people complete this whole cycle of devotion, what they're really doing is making a symbolic prayer for a year that's yuan yuan man man. A year that's totally complete, perfect, and just full of good fortune. The physical act of getting through those 15 days, it becomes this manifestation of their deepest hope for a perfect year. But okay, as beautiful as that symbolism is, it actually goes even deeper. The second reason, this is where we get into some powerful religious beliefs that just supercharge the whole practice. For a lot of people, this isn't just making a wish. It's a serious, high-stakes spiritual investment. See, during this really crucial 15-day window, the belief is that the heavens are watching, really paying close attention. You've got deities and celestial beings thought to be patrolling, checking things out, observing what we're all doing down here. So a vegetarian diet, that becomes this huge sign of respect, of self-discipline, and of course, of kindness. It's like the ultimate way to show you're starting the year on the absolute best footing with the gods. And for Buddhists, this whole period is even more significant. The first lunar month has a name, Shinbian Nue, which means the miraculous month. And why is it miraculous? Well, there's a very specific reason. It's believed that the karmic merit, the spiritual reward you get for any good deed you do, gets massively, and I mean massively, amplified during this month. And when I say amplified, I am not kidding. Some traditions say that the merit is multiplied by a factor of, wait for it, 10 million. 10 million. Just let that sink in for a second. That means every single act of kindness, every meal you eat without meat, it's like making a spiritual deposit that gives you this just astronomical return. This completely transforms the practice from just a simple tradition into this incredible opportunity for huge spiritual growth. So it's not just about racking up good karma, though. There's more to it. Those 15 days are also a time of preparation, of purification. It's all about getting yourself ready for the big finale, the climax of the entire New Year festival. And that climax, it all happens on day 15 with that first full moon. Now, a lot of us know it as the Lantern Festival, but it's also called Shengyanjie. And this part is absolutely critical. It's the birthday of a super important Taoist deity, the heavenly official. And his whole job, his entire purpose is to hand out blessings and good fortune to all of us. So if you want to properly receive all these blessings, you got to be ready, right? You need to be in a state of purity. And that's exactly where this 15-day practice comes in. It's a 2-part cleansing. First, you've got the cleansing of the body, a physical detox from all that rich holiday food. But then, and this is arguably more important, you've got the cleansing of the mind, a kind of spiritual spring cleaning. The whole idea is to present your best, cleanest, purest self to the heavens, so you're like a worthy vessel for all the good fortune that's about to come your way. Okay, so we've covered the symbolic, we've covered the spiritual, but there's one more reason, and honestly, It's a surprisingly practical one. It's something that feels super relevant to how we live today. I mean, let's be real. The Lunar New Year season is basically a marathon of eating, right? You're constantly at gatherings with family, with friends, and the food is, well, it's incredible, but it's also often really rich and heavy. So, for a lot of health conscious people these days, committing to a 15-day vegetarian diet is the perfect solution. It's like a built in reset button for your body. It's a way to get through the holiday season and all that indulgence without totally wrecking your health goals. So when you put it all together, it's clear this 15-day commitment is so much more than just a diet. It's this amazing practice with 4 different layers all working at once. You've got the aspirational part, wishing for that perfect year. You've got the spiritual side, that high-stakes investment in your karma. There's the preparatory layer, getting yourself clean and ready for blessings. And finally, the practical reason. It's just a smart way to hit the reset button on your health during a crazy time of year.
It's a pretty powerful thought, isn't it? In our world, everything is about instant gratification. We make New Year's resolutions and often forget them a week later. But a practice like this is about a sustained, deep intention that connects your body, your mind, and your spirit. It really makes you wonder, right? In a world so focused on just hitting goals, what can an ancient act of pure devotion like this teach us about the real power of how we choose to begin?